Hey there, McAllister with Toshi DIY, and today I want to go over another deck I've made for Magic the Gathering. I already did one over the Frog deck that I enjoyed, and now I have another one where I went into just the white color scheme, and I went for just cats. I like these little critter decks. I think they're just fun. They're simple to put together because if you just look up the cards, you'll usually find an overarching theme between them, and for cats, it seems to be lifelink, gaining life in general, and the ability to get counters for gaining life, and that seems like a simple plan, and I just like the cats, and I pulled Arabo, the first Fang, in one of my foundations pack. So I've been enjoying just messing around with these cat decks and cat ideas. And so this is that deck, and let's just talk about it. It should be under $30. I believe it's $31.12 according to this website. So let's take a peek. All right, so we got the deck here. We're also on the webcam now, so it's more direct on the angle here. So we have this deck, very simple, a lot of low-cost things, and the idea, you're gonna need a lot of cat tokens, because you're going to be just trying to summon as many cats as possible, and then buffing those cats with Felidar Retreat to win the game. Otherwise, you should just be life-linking and trying to, gain life to buff your Johnny's Pride mate. So the game is really simple here. Play a cat, make the cats stronger, lifelink with the cats. We don't have a lot of counterplay here. Our instants just help us get rid of any major threat that stops us from winning, but we don't have a ton of them. So let's just take a look, and I think you'll see what I'm talking about. So Charm Stray. Charm Stray is a very simple card. Lifelink, when Charm Stray enters the battlefield, gain +1/+1 counter on each other character you control named Charm Stray. This is a very simple card. So if you have a Charm Stray on the field, it's a 1/1 with a lifelink, which is nice. But if you play another Charm Stray, you put a +1 counter on each other creature you name. It essentially becomes you put a bunch of Charm Strays out. It's fun. I like it for the lifelink. It's a cat, and it can get buffed. And the idea that they help each other out is nice, and I wanted a one-drop cat that was just a cat, and I like the idea of if you draw multiples, then it becomes very fun. Pride Guardian, very simple. It's a defender that gains life every time it blocks, so if people swing early, I like this actually in any sort of like two-headed giant format where you're playing with friends and you're doing a game with multiple people. Pride Guardian is very nice because if anyone throws an attack at your team, you can block it and gain life if they don't kill it. So it makes anybody not really swing if it's under 1 or 2 cost. If you have that on the field, you have a Johnny's Pride mate, which will gain +1/+1 counter for every time that something gains life. Almost every card in here has a way to gain life. Helpful Hunter, this is just for card draw, and the card art is adorable, so I wanted to have this in the deck. Simple, cat creature, but when it enters, draw a card. Iron Paw Aspirant, very simple. When it enters, put a +1/+1 counter on someone else. It's also a 1/2 cat. This one could probably come or go depending on what you like in this deck and what you don't. Iron Paw would be one of the first ones I'd look at getting rid of, but I just like the card art, and I like this kind of theme between Playful House Cat and like cheetahs. So Savannah Sage, when this enters, you gain 2 life. Once again, I just wanted something simple. It comes in. My expectation is none of these guys need to be very strong. They just need to be full. The board needs to be rather large so that when I play Claws Out or Felidar Retreat, we're going to get a lot of value out of them. Also, it helps with Johnny's Pride mate if he's out there already. Arabo, the first Fang, other cats you control get +1/+1, so he's a basic Lord effect. But whenever he enters or another cat enters, you create a 1/1 cat token, and so all these cat tokens immediately become 2/2s. You're going to be playing other cats, and that's going to be easy. If you have the cat collector, not a cat themselves, so they don't get the buffs, but when they enter, they create a food token, which lets you gain life. And when you gain life for the first time during each of your own turns, you create a 1/1 cat token. So if you have a Rabo, you clearly see you're filling the board with cat tokens. King of the Pride, another Lord. This one's the best one for cats. As far as I'm aware, it's a 49-cent card if you can find it, and it immediately gives everything +2/1, which is awesome. If you have that out and you have 3 cats out, you're already pretty much a problem, I find, for most people. Basri's Acolyte, lifelink, and when it enters, you put a +1 counter on up to 2 other creatures you control. So you can spread the love out. Set's Tiger is just kind of an emergency play. You can drop this down to become protected from all colors until the end of turn. Yeah, so this is just to save yourself. So if you end up in a weird situation and you just need a cat fast, you can drop this down. So especially if there's a board wipe coming, honestly, you might just take a Iron Paw Aspirant out and add more Set's Tigers. It would mess with your mana curve, but, maybe one more. The Iron Paw Aspirant's just not the best. He's just good to have for a cat, and I like his theme, like I said. So Regal Carousel, or Caracol, however you pronounce it. Other cats you control get +1/+1, and now they all gain lifelink. And when this creature enters, you create 2 1/1 white cat token creatures with a lifelink. This is really good, of course, because now you have more cats out, more cats. And the best thing is you have Felidar Retreat in this. You have a couple copies, so that whenever you play a land, you create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token, or you can put a +1 counter on each creature you control, and they gain vigilance until end of turn. And those are two different things. So they gain vigilance till end of turn, and they have a +1/+1 counter that doesn't go away. As far as disenchant, very simple. Just in case there's an enchantment out there that's really messing you up, make your move will help you with enchantments. If there's one out there and you didn't pull disenchant or make your move, honestly, you could run just make your moves if you wanted to, but this disenchant just gives you a little bit more coverage, is how I look at it. Claws out costs less for every cat you have out, and if you play, a single character that gives you, 2 token cats, it immediately becomes a just 2-cost spell. And if you play any creature token like the carousel, or anyone that gives you a creature token when it plays, you'll pretty quickly have 3 cats and make this just a 2-cost spell to give +2/+2 to any creature you control until end of turn. This does not apply only to your cat, so your cat collector can get this effect. It just won't count towards the affinity towards it. Then we have Luminous Rebuke. Spell costs 3 less to cast if the target is tapped, destroy tapped creature. I really read this card as if you go to combat and they declare attackers and they tap something that doesn't have vigilance, or it has to tap in order to attack clearly, or they activate an ability, this removes. So this is your removal. This is really the only removal we have in the deck. For the most part, when I win with this deck, if I win with a good few hands, I get a bunch of cats down and I hit one of my lords, I'm usually in a good spot because I usually have a life-linking cat and a Johnny's Pride Mate that's getting some buffs, or some Pride Guardians defending me and giving me health. So a lot of my chump blockers come in the Pride Guardians with the ability to give me health. And then I put just a bunch of planes in this. I didn't want to make this hard, so this deck is, I think, a nice template for upgrading. Like I've said, I already think the Iron Paw Aspirant is one card that could be swapped out to maybe buff up some other card counts. But this is just a pretty simple deck for $31, according to this right now. And if you're out on the Card Kingdom or anywhere like that, I'm sure you could get it all put together. The only thing I know that they've had issues with keeping in stock is the King of the Pride. That card, if you need to, make a proxy really cheaply. If you have any Savannah Lurkers or the Savannah Lions, this card looks just like King of the Pride in a lot of ways. Just a lion. And you can just add 2 next to that and then, write down Lord Effect if you really need to. That's what I did because I couldn't get that card anywhere from my local game store or from Card Kingdom. So I don't want to buy just that for now since I'm just testing this deck out and having fun. King of the Pride, awesome card for this deck. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. This is just another deck list. And if you know ways to upgrade this, I like to keep the cost low because the fun is when you pull cards from packs or whatever, I like to swap them in. So I don't spend a lot of time noodling to get the absolute best. I just try to get it to where it's good enough. I have a game plan that works consistently enough to have fun. I don't need to win every game. And this deck will get you started with having some fun winning some games because you'll occasionally just pull a good hand of cats and you'll just start going ham on it. So like I said, questions down below, and thank you all for watching. Peace.